Hey guys, Crypto 101, your guide to cryptocurrency. I want to talk to you guys today about Evolutionland. If you haven't followed me on Twitter at I'm Crypto Hustler. So Evolutionland just released information about a new continent which is coming very soon on the Heco blockchain. Be sure to follow us at t.me/Evolutionland9 and stay up to date on Evolutionland. And be sure to follow Evolutionland on Twitter at Evolution_land. So if you haven't seen anything about Heco, be sure to follow at Heco _chain. Be sure to follow Darwinia Network, which is going to be getting a parachain on the Kusama network. So we're going to have parachain offerings very soon. If you guys haven't checked out Darwinia Network at Darwinia Network on Twitter, be sure to follow them. And if you haven't checked out the Polkadot Decoded, which was very expressive and very understanding and very innovative, all the information that was being released was very exciting. We watched a bunch of projects talking on the first day, which is great. We got to see Gav, we got to see Robert. So they were very there's just so much going on, talking about parachains. And so if you haven't seen tomorrow's stage here on the Polkadot Decode, all the information I talked about earlier and now, I will put this on link to the description below. So here's a bunch of projects talking, and at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time Standard, Bree, our CMO for Darwinia Network, will be talking about the bridge hub between the Polkadot ecosystem and external networks. So this is a very important talk. They're going to be talking about all the bridges connecting. Darwinia Network has been working on bridges for a very long time with the game Evolutionland. They were the first ones to do cross-chain that I've seen very seamlessly through Tron and Ethereum with the Ring token. This is way before Darwinia Network was even pretty much released, and Evolutionland was pretty much the bridge between both. So they were early innovators in the space. It's definitely something to watch. Bree's a very good speaker for Darwinia Network, and she is definitely something to look into. So anyways, I'm going to show you kind of the evolution of Evolutionland per se. So Evolutionland originally was version 1, but you can see how it's a little bit different than the newer one if you have seen my previous videos. So you go out here and check out Atlantis, and it has more of a 3D look, which is great. You can see some of my older land. You can see me mining stuff and whatnot. So this is great. So we're gonna go move over here to version 2. So version 2 is more, you know, cartoony and more kind of a game like. So I really like the design and the feel and the vibe that the Evolutionland 2. I remember when I seen the transition from 1 to 2 was a little reluctant, but I got used to number 2 and I actually like number 2. So similar aspect, you can see that there's a, you know, a selector here for Atlantis and Byzantine. So we're going to go over here to Atlantis, show you guys the land on Atlantis. So you can notice there's some differences here. There's roads and objects that are different and added to, so it gives it more of a kind of a terrain slash, you know, interactive aspect. You can still add dApps to your land. You can still, you know, you can add props and whatnot. It's a little bit different than before. So there's a lot more going on. So you can, you know, add your drills, and you can add, you know, apostles. So going forward, if you want to see more about the Heco blockchain, I have a little bit of sneak peek on what's going on. If you guys seen previous videos, I do show a little bit of a sneak peek on Dawning. So that is going to be the next continents. So the selector is going to be a little bit different for the continents. And you can see where it determines which continent based on its blockchain. So I'll say Ethereum Atlantis, Tron Byzantine, Crab Columbus, Heco Dawning, and the fifth one is for Binance Chain. So we are not going to talk about Binance Chain or Crab today. We're going to be focusing on Heco Dawning continent. Okay, so I'm going to press enter. This will take me into Dawning. So land Dawning, because the turbulent fire element energy was abused by the Aborigines, the volcanic eruption turned the continent into a barren place called Ragnarok. Eve came to this continent with the hope of the earth and built altars, magic books, witch towers, and magic circles to bring the barren place back to life, and changed its name to Dawning. Eve reconstructed the order of the elements in this land. The flaming volcano in the center of the continent is not a fierce beast, but a symbol of vigorous vitality. There are infinite possibilities here, and it belongs to every self-challenger. At dawn we set off. So it's very interesting. I really like that. So yeah, you can see in the middle it's a very interesting concept here. It's kind of that molten lava look. You know, you got some aerodactyls or pterodactyls. Pterodactyls. This is kind of like a phoenix or a Ho-Oh if it's a Pokemon. I'm kind of mentioning Pokemon names right now, but you know, you can see where it kind of blends into the water. And then you can see, you know, this like little shrines, houses, and stuff. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how this is laid out. You know, there's some buildings here and some magical stuff going on there. There's a little cat, or there's that monkey. No, it's a kitty. It's a kitty. There's some altars. It's pretty cool. You know, I haven't really fully looked at it, so. And then, you know, if you're getting closer to these blocks, you know, you can see some of the resources are different. You can check, you know, blank slate, nothing. Or you can go and say, hey, what's taken? Obviously, nothing's for sale right now. If it was, this is on the test net, so this is not something I'm in, you know, early on. I'm more so just testing it, so. It is going to be a fair launch. I don't know when it's going to be launched, so I'm just in the same category as everyone else. But yeah, you can see I have some land. You see orange is mine. So I got some land over here, and I believe I have a third piece of land. Just can't see it. I can't see it. So you can see here where it's reserved. So this is the reserve land. In the Atlantis, there was reserve land out here. I did have a chance to purchase reserve land, but I did not. So reserve land hasn't been fully like released. They said land was going to be specific land, which I'm assuming reserve land will be purchased with Katon. So that's also something that could be implemented in the future. And you can see where the yellow is, you know, that's the roads right there and buildings. So yellow is scenery, so you can't be a part of that. Green is mystical, or not green, but purple is mystical. So mystical land don't have, it doesn't tell you how much resources are on the land until you purchase it. So once you purchase it, it will reveal the resources on the land. And having land near the edges of the continents gives you better ability for transportation between the continents. I'm not sure how that's gonna play in the future, but that's, you know, to be announced on that aspect. So yes, I do like to have, you know, properties on the edges. It does play a good role. So you can see some other people getting involved. And then you can see, yeah, green. So there's green. So green is on sale. So these are lands you can purchase. You can just purchase these from Eve, and you can see the resources here. Some of them are going to be a little bit more resource heavy. So you can see where gold is more resourceful in these darker spots, as it's in contrast to the other ones, to the more of a lighter color is in the 200s, and this dense dark colors in the high threes. See 385, 87, that's kind of like the number. So then you go into the lighter ones, it's like, you know, in the hundreds, and even lighter is like really low. And then yeah, so you're looking at under 10 for the lighter ones. So this in contrast goes with everything. So you can see the darker spots here. It's more wood available in these resource plots. So that's just you know, the dynamic here. You know, you go over here, you click some dark spots, you're looking at, you know, almost 400. So I haven't seen anything over 380 or 390 it showed. I haven't seen any 400 resource plots. You know, so I'm pretty sure maybe in the future there'll be like some with like extreme amounts of resources, but this time it's not the case. So you can see where you could probably get like you know, something that has a lot of fire and water or something, or, you know, like 2 of the resources are pretty high. So that's also another thing, is that it brings valuation to that particular parcel, piece of land, because it has a lot of resources. So that's something to look forward to also. So down here is the chat, so you can see what's going on, you can talk to people. And this is across the board, so you can talk to, you know, it says Crypto Hustler 101, one land on Dawning. So that was, you know, earlier this month. But you can talk to others in you know, in this chat box across multiple continents. So that's the beauty of this, is that you can talk to others. So you can pull up the, you know, if you want to talk to someone. But anyways, so that's kind of the basis of what's going on, like resources and physical objects, scenery. So anyways, we're gonna go right into breeding. So as a warning for breeding, a tip is that when you breed, if you have 2 level 0 or generation 0 apostles, they will always produce a fast apostle. So regardless if they're swift, or they're there's other ones, snappy, there's other ones that are brisk, you know. So it's like these particular speed of production for apostles degrade after every breed, you know. So every time you breed them, they get slower and slower. It starts off with a minute, and then it's like 5 minutes, and that's actually have the times. So I will pop up with the times for you guys, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So yeah. So it's kind of just like a short. So when they're fast, they breed at 1 minute. When they're swift, it's 2 minutes. When they're snappy, it's 5 minutes. Snappy, level 2. So if they're snappy, they can be snappy twice. And that's a 10-minute window. And then brisk, which is after breeding 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th time is 30 minutes. So I am still figuring out time frames, you know, hour, 2 hours, 8 hours, you know. At certain points, they're so slow, it takes like multiple days. That was also something I learned early on, because I was in the competition of breeding. So I learned that breeding is important, to breed ones that are faster, or having 2 generation 0s to breed a fast one. So that kind of gives you the leg up on that. But I didn't know that, and I learned that. We all kind of learned together. Some of us were much better than me specifically. And actually at one point I thought I won, and then they were like, no, you lost by like 100 apostles. So yeah. Competition wise, that's totally different, but also when it comes to breeding, you definitely want to do so in a good manner. So I do have a resting child here. So I'm going to go ahead and see what am I going to breed, because I was going to show you guys upgrading. So I guess in all intensive purposes here, I'm just going to go ahead and breed these two, because it's going to be not that long of time in comparison. So she's going to be fast. Actually, I'm going to have the reciprocal here. So I'm going to have him breed with her. So this is going to cause their next generation to be a generation 4. Because if you do 2 zeros, right? 2 zeros will produce a 1. And that's ideal. If you're trying to go low generations. But sometimes you can get some attributes in there that you're looking for when you do breed them. So that's something I'll talk about in a second. So I'm going to click him. So when you produce, or when you breed generation 3 and a generation 0, basically the highest of the 2 generations will breed produce a generation higher, one higher than the highest one of the 2. So say that other one was a 0, this one's a 3. When they breed and have an apostle, it'll be a 4. So that's kind of how it goes. So it goes to the highest number. So if you want the apostle to breed faster, you would start off with the slower one impregnating the fast one. So the second one would be the one that is the faster one, because they'll produce the apostle faster, because there's a cooling off period after you breed. If you guys played CryptoKitties, this is pretty commonplace. So that's kind of what they're doing. So anyways, so you see the talents. So there's, you know, life, strength, dexterity, intelligence. I'm not sure what pot means, but I'm sure it plays a good part in the future of the game. And then mood, agility, HP, luck, and charisma. So his charisma is pretty low and his luck's really low, but that's fine. Mostly focusing on strength and agility for the talents. So you can see apostles' talents determined by genes. It's possible to inherit, become an explorer. So you can see that this apostle does not have resource level enhancements on. So I will be doing that as well. And then you can see a little bio. How's everything? I'm calling William Garcia. You are tough, but I'm even tougher. Let's dedicate and devote to the good. Dedicate to real, devoted to justice. I felt no regret for it. So a little bit of typos and some grammatic errors, but that's okay. This is a test net. So those attributes right here, these attributes can be bred into future apostles, and also specific ones like surroundings. Like I was breeding apostles in 2019 with a volcanic background, so that's another thing. You can see where his parents were bred. They have the red afro, so that was kind of something that carried over. You can also carry over, you know, hair color, feature colors, skin tone, stuff like that, buffness or whatever. You know, speed, facial expressions, everything. All of that can be bred into it, and future apostles of this one, the next generation, could have specific breed or genes that are bred in that are undetermined previously. So you breed into a new genetic code of an attribute that could be rare. So in the so in 2019 we were having breeding competitions, and we were trying to get specific backgrounds. Like the first time someone got a volcano background. There was I think a New Year's, Chinese New Year's background, which was very specific and very rare to get. That was one that was hard to get. There's just, there was a lot of like competitions early on that, we were breeding and all sorts of stuff. So those things were really fun and interesting how that ended. I unfortunately didn't win anything or win any of the contests. People won land, people won ring. So that was really cool. But anyways, so those attributes do play a part. So definitely look into that. And then when you have certain resource levels being bred in, and or strength or agility, which is a focus on the resource mining. So we're gonna go ahead and just breed them. So I'm gonna go ahead and breed, and then click plus. So I'm gonna go breed with her. And then I'll let the transaction go through. And see how cheap that is. So it doesn't require much HT for this. So you can see how many zeros that is. And HT right now is about $20. So this is going to be a minuscule of a penny. So with 1 Gwai gas fees, we just press confirm. This will process. The finality is done quite fast on the blockchain in comparison to the UI. So instantly it is done. You can check the status or text hash, but just let it do its thing. Okay, it takes a second. Press OK. This will give you some points towards your lottery. So congratulations, you're getting 0.05 of points. So if you bred 20 apostles, you get 1 point. You need 10 points for a lottery ticket, or 100 points to gain up to 1 million. So I'm going to show you guys the lottery right here real quick. So I've been gaining some points. The jackpot right now on the testnet is 22 ring, so 22,000 ring. So that's be a little bit of a thing going on there. So anyways, after you breed, there's a countdown. So it's going to be like a minute or so. So you can see that right now this is going to be born in about a minute. So that's great. And then there's also resting for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and attach some of the assets or some of the resources I gathered from the two. So I'm going to go see what land I have and what could benefit the most from that. So I believe this is water. So the water, these guys all pretty much were bred to have water. So yeah, they're level 1 water, level 1 fire, level 1 fire. She doesn't have anything. So actually one of them would be a good candidate to have some resources added to them. So these guys have high resources, and decently for not having anything. So I probably will replace one of these guys with another one. So this is the mining efficiency. So you can see I'm starting to gather stuff. So if you look at the land description, you can also change the land description and URLs to it, and then you can add a DApp too. So you can add a DApp, a logo, your email address, URL, and description, and what type of DApp it is. So that's pretty cool. This is a good way to funnel traffic to your websites or whatnot. So that's another way to promote. That's a cool aspect of this game, is that you're able to promote your DApp, or it's an affiliate link or something. You can do that too. So yeah, look, that's yeah, but she has a low strength. Okay, so I'm gonna go probably focus on SIOO, which is silicone sand essentially. I'll go to my Postals, and let's go to claim. So when you go to claim, or it gives you the option to claim with your Postal, this allows you to produce a postal. So press claim. So in this case, you can choose your resource. If you have the resources in your wallet, it will show the balance of it up here. So you see that there's a balance of water, I don't have fire, and I have the soil. So let's go to level 3. So this will take 15. Press enhance, and it does is it combines the token and the NFT together into producing a NFT with the resource level, and then those resources get burned essentially. So that's just how it goes. This was very early on. Other projects are adapting it, calling it CFI, or not CFI, but it's like NFT or token, non-fungibles and fungibles together, which then it gives you a certain valuation if you decommission it, which is similar to Engine, so in that aspect. And also the RMRK standard is working on NFTs into NFTs, which I would hope Evolutionland would maybe take some of those standards and utilize them on the future release of the Crab Network. So we will see on that. I think it's pretty innovative. So this is the offspring, and then she has 2 soil and slow agility. So you see there's no thing here, and you go back to these guys, they have that heart symbol. So that heart symbol indicates they've entered the Harbinger Tax mode. So that's another aspect, is when you start to breed or work your apostles, they go into a Harbinger Tax mode, which essentially puts them in the aspect of they have a specific life expectancy. So at the beginning, it's like normal. They'll just be able to breed, they'll be able to work, you know, they'll be able to build things in the future build of the game, in the wars and whatnot. But at a certain point, they start deteriorating more. As they degrade, their use case becomes less. So if you want to revitalize them, you have to give them a certain item. I believe it was a potion or some type of regenerating ability. This could be a, you know, some type of shop or whatnot to give a potion, and or just an option that they give you in the game. But essentially makes it so you have to pay to keep them alive. And if they're like a high stature, say high stats, to mine resources or to work or whatnot, then you have to pay more because of its high stature in comparison to Apostle with low attributes. So that's kind of where Harbinger Tax mode comes into. So life value in the Apostle's talent represents the time to survive week by week. After entering the Harbinger mode beyond this time, the Apostle will be in a coma state, unable to carry out activities such as childbirthing and work. The master needs to price and pay a certain portion of the Harbinger Tax independently to maintain the Apostle's life activities. After Apostle are priced and taxed, they can be purchased at any time in a price higher than the fixed price. So the evaluation of the fixed price is particularly important. So this puts it in a position to be valuable and or deteriorate. So press OK anyways, right? So doing so puts the heart symbol in there, and when you first get them, they have a egg. So that means this is the first time they're new. They haven't been broken in and working for many years collecting resources on my land. This game is insane. I mean, it has its abilities, you know. It's pretty cool that I've been mining resources for 3 years on my property. So, you know, coming up 3 years almost here. So, yeah, it's it's very cool to see that, you know. Anyways, so let's go to my land, and oh yeah, it's gonna take out people from here. Stop working. Get out of here. You get out of here. So I'm gonna go and put another person on this land. I know it's gonna be kind of a long video. I want to kind of give you guys a sneak peek what's going on. This is all the same aspects of the different continents, but it is on Heco. The transactions are much cheaper. So I enjoy this blockchain quite a bit. In comparison to Binance Smart Chain, I know a lot of people like it out there. I've used it, it's great, but I just have a certain feel and vibe in the ecosystem, and I believe Huobi has that. Huobi is definitely a contender for Binance Chain in many aspects, and I feel it's more lax, and it gives it like kind of that Polkadot vibe, which is something I really like. And I think Huobi really is that connection between, Polkadot and like second layer solutions, and great for Evolutionland. So anyways, I'm gonna go here and put her to work on this land. So it says the star, so that's the highest rated resource of all. So it's saying, hey, you should probably mine that. And also, before I do that, when you have a higher resource level, this enhances efficiency of mining specific resources, and the higher the level, the higher the efficiency. So that's pretty straightforward, right? So basically, if you have higher levels, it's better for mining that specific resource. So in this case, it's soil. Press OK and then confirm. So yeah, transactions are fast. And this is a test net. It's going to be slightly faster, but in general, it's about the same speed. About 1 Gwei. Sometimes, like earlier today, it was up to 3 Gwei. But mostly it's 1 or 2. And I've seen some for 1.2 actually recently. So the blockchain is getting a little bit more people in it, but we're not going to really see the drag on it like Ethereum. So everything was built on Ethereum originally, and everything else is now EVM compatible, and second layer solutions are a good option to kind of offload a lot of the computational aspects of Ethereum, which Ethereum will always have some type of high value proposition, but the liquidity and microtransactions is very important to have a bunch of these DeFi apps or dApps in the ecosystem without taking so much of the transactional and computing power of the blockchain. So it's good to diversify. It doesn't take away from Ethereum, it just makes it so it's less bloated, until they do something with Ethereum 2.0. But we don't even know if that's actually going to help with gas fees. It's just more so a little bit more efficient. So that's about it. So we're gonna see when she's working, how much she's producing. 1.4 soil, so she's doing better than the previous, so that's great, right? Anyways, we're gonna go down here on the Postals. So we're gonna go to my chest. So I purchased a bunch of chests, so I'm gonna go ahead. I got 80 unopened chests. It opens 10 at a time. I'm glad that they put this open 10. Before, it didn't say how much, it just said open. So that's good, something good that was implemented. And see how much cheaper it is over here. When I was opening 10 boxes or chests at the same time, it cost me between $60 and $80. That was pretty normal, And so boom, I have some diamond drill, and I got some of the ring back, So I'm gonna go ahead and open. No. Okay, so I'm gonna open 10 more. Go ahead and 10 more it, and the fees are very low. That's the beauty of Heco. The cost is like next to nothing. Binance Smart Chain, I get it. Yes, it's very cheap too, but the cost of Binance Smart Chain has gone up. You know, Huobi token will be in the hundreds, I guarantee it. But I mean, I can't guarantee it, sorry. But in you know, DYOR, of course. But in most case, Huobi has a higher proposition, I feel like, than Binance Chain in many ways. But it's based on my opinion, and I don't want to just throw my opinion out there like that. And I do apologize for the price. Because I don't like to just say the price of it. You know, you see me on Twitter, it's different, but I'm talking about Evolutionland. I'm not really trying to talk about the price of things. I like to talk about the technology. So anyways, Huobi does have a good proposition, being that its own ecosystem is Huobi, and then they have the Heco blockchain, and then they also are, you know, going to be bridged around, and they're going to be sponsoring more Polkadot projects on Huobi. So it really just gives that seamless interaction with Polkadot, which is something I'm familiar with, as well as what I'm more focused on when it comes to technology and the advancements of Web3, and Polkadot and Substrate. They all kind of intertwine together. And the beauty of this is I've learned this from playing Evolutionland and Darwinia Network, so I am so blessed to have known about Kusama early on because of Evolutionland. So, you know, it was a great thing to happen. So yeah, I actually have tons of diamond drills. You can't really do anything with them right now on the Heco, but you know, that will be implemented across the board, so that's something to look into. So yeah, you go to the Green Gods. If you guys played Evolutionland originally, you go here and just purchase the ring. So I just kind of throw some numbers in there. It's not letting me do it right now. I think I bought them out. But essentially you just buy the ring and then place how much you want to buy, and then you click buy. Same as sell. So I'm gonna see if I can, yeah, so it's literally telling me I need to sell some. So I'm gonna go sell 10,000 ring and then confirm. So these transactions are being placed using MDEX. MDEX is the premier Uniswap clone essentially on Heco blockchain. It is, you know, everything you've done with version 2 of Uniswap. So, you know, and the thing was Ring token, Darwinia Ring, was a very early adopter of DEXs. They used Bancor early on to do transactions through the Green Gods, which no one had DEXs back then. I mean, there was DD DEX, and there was like you know, obscure DEXs that really didn't have a lot of liquidity. Well, Uniswap was great. You did have to import your you still do import your contracts, and then you'd produce a URL specific to that contract. But Ring token was one of the first ones I've seen on there. So it was great to see that Ring really transitioned to having pretty much the first mover advantage of being on a DEX. So that's the beauty of Ring. I've transacted Ring on DEXs for years, where, you know, the one that really kind of took off was Hex, and then version 2 came out, and then you know, everybody released their tokens on that, and it was DeFi summer of 2020. So, you know, being early on in the project where they weren't even using Uniswap at the time, and then they did before everyone, it was a beautiful transition. So MDEX is essentially Uniswap, so that's something we're going to be using. If you haven't checked out from Atlantis update, liquidity is ability now that you can add liquidity and LP tokens to advance your drills. So that's a great thing. And then farm, this is new to me. I don't really know a lot, so I'm assuming it has to do with farming the Ring token or Katon. And then making more pools or whatnot. I don't know what that's gonna go, but that's great to implement that down the road. And then, so yeah, that's Postals. You can buy the land, you know, buy Postals, directly. These are Genesis apostles with 0 generation. And with the egg too, that means that they have not been used. They're brand new. Anyways, we're going to go over to the land. So land is not going to, all of it's going to show up as not actually for sale. When you click first sale, that means it's the first time selling. You can show you how much ring is worth. And then there's resell, which at this time there isn't. And then you go over here to the present. There's treasure chest. So you can buy treasure chests, you know, in quantity, whatnot. Silver has different drop ratings for iron drills at 90%. Steel drills 9 and diamond at 1. So the rarity there, before we were talking about like 35,000 ring for the diamond drills. So those have gone up in value. I'm sure it's going to even be more valuable as time progresses, usage of these particular drills. So the drop rate of the golden chest is drills, steel drills 90% and diamond drills 10. So that's actually a pretty good thing. And then gold chest, you know, the price increases 2.6 per day. There is a you know, kind of a price curve to it. So yes, you know, the silver chest started at $100. They're gonna go up to $1,000, or not $100, $1,000. You know, so you can see right here, it was 100 and it's gonna go up to 1,000. It's gonna take some time. Same as this, started at 1,000, it's gonna go to 10,000. So that's kind of pretty much everything. It's pretty much the same, but definitely looking forward to more advancements here on the Heco Dawning. So definitely check out Evolutionland on Twitter. You get the newest information that's being released, and check us out on Polkadot Decoded, that we're going to be talking about bridges. Bree, the CMO, is a very great speaker, and she definitely carries Darwinia Network across the world. And if you'd like to join the Darwinia Network ambassador program, I will leave that description below about the ambassador program, and join us. We are a worldwide group. There's only so many of us, and we are you know, we're working with our specific communities and building our connection with multiple projects as well as community. So you can definitely check us out, Darwinia Network, on Telegram as well. Megan is very, very informative, and she's always on it. So definitely reach out to her if you have any questions. And you can always reach out to me at Evolutionland 9, which is our Telegram group. I'll have that in link description below as well. You guys have a great day, evening, and afternoon. Peace.